Hello and welcome to part two, Good and Evil with Erin McParland on Dysfunctional Dialogue. Enjoy. All right, so a more important topic than that. Would you rather have fingers for nipples or nipples for fingers?
Oh my God, what? So seriously?
Would you rather have fingers for nipples or nipples for fingers?
What the fuck kind of a question is that?
It's one that is begging for an answer.
Okay, if I had nipples for fingers, then everything I touched, it could get really, I don't think I'd want nipples for fingers.
Fingers for nipples or nipples for fingers? So you don't want nipples for fingers.
I don't want either.
I mean, could they be particularly long nipples so I can at least grab things?
Oh man. I think if I had a choice, at least if I had fingers for nipples, I could keep them hidden underneath my shirt and just never ever expose myself ever. And I would.
Well, wait, why? I mean, think about that. You're with your lover for the first time, and you take your shirt off, and
he completely freaked out. Hi.
Welcome. Of course, because they'd have to move too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a reasonable question. It's a reasonable question that should be asked.
Wow, did you make that up with your own brain?
No, I just pulled some stuff out randomly off of some place. Hopefully it's not.
That is a crazy ass question. Yeah. But yes, I don't want nipples here because that would mean no, it would be bad. I don't want to go into all the reasons why that wouldn't be a good idea.
So
unless I was nursing and I had 10 babies, and then I could just do this and they'd all suck on my nipples, right? And then it would be very useful to have nipples at the end for fingers. I guess that would work here too because you'd have lots. Either way, it would work for those purposes.
She's like, sign me up. Oh my God, that's funny.
Luckily, my baby making days are over, or it could be really scary if I had that choice. So,
and your baby making days are over because every time you'll make sure there's a condom, and you make sure there's.
Yes, that's exactly the reason. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. So let me give you another one, and this is really risky because I'm talking to my sister, right?
Yeah.
So and she has, to her credit, very little filter, and so I'm always afraid about going down routes like this or routes.
But you have the ability to edit, so
there's always that. All right. So would you rather have to sexually bite your lip at the end of every conversation? Sexually bite your lip at the end of every conversation.
It's sexually biting your lip.
I don't want to have to actually do it in the camera, but maybe you're really super excited about somebody. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing I can't have someone. I'm already at a major risk for all of this stuff being screen captured at any given moment and abused for all of eternity. Everything I do right now.
Questions, though.
Yeah, but I'm asking you. I'm not acting out the question.
You're
not happening.
Up with the questions. All right, sexually biting my lip, like you're biting your lip, like you're sexually excited.
I think so. Okay. Yeah, like you're looking at someone that you're attracted to, and you're like, all right, that's
anticipation. Gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
Either that or
I
don't know. It would need an explanation.
Right. Or, so would you rather have to sexually bite your lip at the end of every conversation, or moan after every bite of food?
I already do that.
Because the first thing that occurs to me is what level of moan. And now that it's scaring me that it just occurred to me to ask that or bring that up while talking to my sister. Okay,
I mean,
so
as long as the food's delicious enough, I might still moan when I eat it. Like, ooh. Like,
remind me to serve.
certain desserts, like, they say are orgasmic. So,
Remind me to serve food that is particularly distasteful every time that I'm around you.
Well, I wouldn't probably, can't imagine moaning to eating something like poopy.
Right. So for now on, I'm serving you feces.
Thank you. I'm not coming to any of your dinner parties from now on. So there will be that.
Win, win, win.
Thank you. I love you too.
So some of these things are so stupid. Like, for instance, would you rather give up sex or music? I mean, how is that even a question? No reaction?
Well, right now I don't really have much of either in my life, so no biggie there.
Done.
Done.
You hear that? My sister is eligible right now. This beautiful woman's eligible. Wow. And then there's this. I mean, I wouldn't normally ask this to anybody else because some people just get too serious about stuff. I don't have to worry about that with you. Would you rather wake up during surgery, which sounds wonderful, right? I guess it all depends on what they're doing surgery on.
I don't think that there's any
other side to that.
There's never a time you want to wake up from surgery. I can't imagine.
Well, would you rather do that or witness a murder?
I'd rather witness a murder.
Yeah, me too.
As long as it's not anyone who I know and loved. It's just some random person. I mean, I did witness a murder.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Well, it was just somebody who got I saw somebody get hit by a car and die.
Really? Oh, I'm so sorry you had to watch that.
That's not an intentional murder, but I did see a murder.
Well, a murder's that is, manslaughter is some kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate. It was a bike messenger in New York who got hit by a car, and I was right there when it happened. So so that has happened.
How close were you?
I've seen lots of people get hit by cars on bikes too, because I used to bike to work. I would bike over the bridge, over the Brooklyn Bridge, like la 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 with my little basket. and I would
picture a basket with flowers on it.
Exactly, of course. And I would go in the bike lanes, and some of the people in front of me would just go right through a red light and get hit by a car, or I would bike and I'd end up seeing somebody who had just gotten hit. There was a lot. I saw a lot of carnage, but I've only seen one person actually die. I'm
getting a little concerned about what might be your role in this. So you said you saw a lot, and now I'm starting to wonder: are you like cutting people off in your cute little bicycle and steering them off into traffic?
No.
And she's sitting there. Oh, me and my little bikey.
I was behind them.
You're just causing carnage all over the place, and you're just riding along.
That could be.
It could be. Okay. We have an admission, I think, right there of some kind.
So, wait, what was it? It was either you see a murder, or what was the other thing?
Well, that's the thing. It was
I was either going to witness a murder. What was the other thing?
Well, it was to wake up during surgery.
Oh God, no. Yes, I wouldn't want to do that. Could you imagine?
Well, hold on though. So, but there's always variables with this, right? So, depending on the type of surgery, right? If it's a light surgery,
I'd be
a light surgery versus like a grotesque, brutal murder or personal murder, or even, if it's someone personal, I mean, for me, I would wake up from a surgery. I don't care what you're cutting off or doing. I don't want to be seeing someone I love.
You don't want to see someone you love get hurt.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, at what point You know, and
Right.
that's what's fun about these questions is that
Yeah.
you try to figure out what those variables are.
Right. Yeah.
Or it could be fun, I guess not.
Plus, you can wake up from surgery, but still be like when I had my hips replaced, I had twilight. If I were to wake up, I probably wouldn't have felt pain because even though I was being cut in half, because they had a what you call it, a epidural. So you could wake up from surgery and still not feel pain if you have an epidural, but you'd still be traumatized if you like look down, you see like your guts all over the table. I'd rather
Yeah,
see
but
someone else's
I could,
guts all over the street than mine all over the
yeah,
surgical table.
I could, so to speak, stomach that if I was woke up on the table as opposed to the other stuff, I think.
Yeah. Hmm. Mm.
All right.
Not fun.
All right. So I had another one. Oh, so this is, I'd be curious what you have to say. Would you rather sweat maple syrup
Mm.
or cry lemon juice?
Oh God, no. Sweat maple syrup, it's tasty
Why?
and lovely, and yeah, it's sticky, but it's sweet, and
But all right. So what's wrong with crying lemon juice?
because it would sting and burn,
You think it would
and
sting?
yeah, it's an acid in your eyes. You wouldn't want that, would you?
Yes. I would take that. I just wouldn't cry. I would take that instead
Yeah,
of sweating.
like,
I mean, all
I'd
the
make you
sweating that
cry
we
if you
do.
made that decision, I'd make you cry.
No, no, you're
I
not
would
getting your ten
I would
thousand
relive
dollars.
childhood trauma all over again just to show
You've
you.
already said you're not getting that $10,000. Remember for that. So. Oh no, but think about being because you're always sweating, even like the gentle sweat, even when you're just hanging out, maybe have a little bit of perspiration going on. That's just leaking, sticky, gross stuff on your skin. Come on, how could you want that?
But you smell sweet and lovely, and people want to lick you.
Okay, so now, now I'm coming to understand exactly why you're choosing this. Okay. This is not the question I expected to have such a sexual overtone to it. This is God help me. And I
I
mentioned
told
earlier
you
how
it's been a long time, John, so
but I mentioned earlier how visual of a person I am. We are. And here I am thinking now, oh my gosh, she's this giant maple stick and everyone's licking her. You cut me a break here for the love of God.
No, just one person, probably.
It is brutal.
One very hungry person
Oh my God, you're
with a
killing me.
sugar addiction.
What's that?
With some really one person with a sugar addiction, that's all.
That's all you need, right?
Hopefully, I don't end up dating a diabetic because it would be really bad.
probably not the best match.
Oh no.
You don't care if they're 2.5 feet tall or 9 feet tall.
Nope.
You like sugar. You're not diabetic.
You're mine.
I got
Match made
just
in heaven.
I got just a thing for you. It just occurred to me, we're having a nice conversation. I'm going to put it on for a little bit right now.
Yeah. Well, what we were starting to say is that Chuck wrote all those books before he passed. So it was nice for him to have that as something that he could share with everyone. It was like a legacy for him.
Yeah, there's
So
no
it was
doubt about it. Yeah, and of course, the other side to that is like, damn man, think about the legacy had he just lived, the proper length of time. That dear sweet man that he was, and is frankly in our hearts.
45 years, is that the proper length? It seems really short.
45, is that what it was? No, it's not proper length. That's my point. It should have been double that.
Yeah.
Because he's one of those ones. I mean, he's one of the ones.
He was an angel.
Yes, exactly. He was such a good person, so darn sweet.
Yeah.
Granted, he hooked up with a devil, but
Well, that does happen. Opposites do attract.
I like how you didn't skip a beat with that.
Someone had to bring him down a few notches.
Yeah. No, but that, it's just my heart's with you on that topic for sure at all times, Erin.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just so super happy I had a chance to know him. That's really honestly, that's all we ever have with anyone, right? And we
That's
have our
every
time, we want
moment
to
that we're
share.
alive.
Yeah. It's
That's
such a
every
short
moment that we're
little
alive.
life we all have.
Right.
I mean, we think 45 is young and short, but 90 is short. I mean, it
It is
is.
short. Yeah, it is. It is. So, and what I like to say, and something that, well, I wrote it down because I thought it was such a profound thing to say, and I even put like a little TM at the end of it as a goof years ago. And of course, I've seen this in different forms since then. And that was live every moment, because in the end, that's all we are, is a compilation of all these moments. So live each moment to the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know. I mean, whatever happens, what's the difference? Because if we're too concerned about the past or the future, we're not here, we're not present, we're not hanging out and enjoying this freaking awesome moment right now. It's the best.
Exactly.
We all should all
And
do
that's
that.
what creates the energy. And it's the energy that I believe will always be there no matter what. That energy just, it's what every interaction we have with other people.
That's real legacy right there. Written legacy is good, video legacy is good, but the ripple effect from good attitude, right? Think about that. The ripple effect from your good attitude and how that happiness begets happiness and the negativity begets negativity. So why not choose happiness and allow that to ripple outwards to others? It's just a beautiful thought, right?
Yeah. It's not always that simple, though, I guess, too.
No, but no, it is, though. It really, really, really is that simple, because every moment we're given a choice. Now, granted, if we have a giant pall over our heads because something devastating is happening to us, you might not be able to get out of that, right? Of course. Or if in a moment that is just way too difficult to navigate, then maybe you can't get out of it. But if there is a chance, though, right? If there is a chance to spin it positive or create positivity, then why not take it?
Is my only counter to that is if your positivity becomes something that's more toxic to the person because they're going through something hard and you're just like, wait, just be
Oh no,
like,
you gotta have some.
And the reason why I think I'm also stepping back with this is because I'm thinking again of Chuck. As much as he was a lovely angel of a human being, he was one of the most empathetic people I've ever known.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he was not always happy. He was depressed a lot, actually.
That happens with empathy.
He felt everyone else's feelings. But it was the connection that he had to the other people. Not that it was necessarily positive or negative, but there was a connection. And I think it's that connection that we have with each other that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that connection isn't always, happiness doesn't spring out of it all times. Sometimes it's like,
no, for sure.
A lot of times it's complicated, but when you recognize that you're connected to everyone around you and all of nature and everything, then I think that is what life is about.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. But I guess I would just add the layer of, and within that, whenever possible, whenever appropriate, find the happiness and run with it.
Yeah,
right?
No, for sure.
Because there's no doubt you don't want to be that happy jackass who's always like, hey, listen, now it's a great moment. Woo! No, of course not. You need to have empathy. You need to know who you're talking to as best you can and understand them. Of course, it's all part of it. Yeah. But my job here on this is to talk just nonsense. Thanks for making it serious for a moment, though. I appreciate that.
I'm always going to bring back down the.
You know, yeah, you. No, hold on. I got to stop you right there because all of my siblings are freaking out right now. If I let that hang, that you're the one that's going to bring it down to reality. Every
Well,
one of
I
my
didn't say
siblings are like, wait, John,
reality.
you
I
must
said
say
bring it
something on that
down.
right
I
now.
didn't say reality.
Oh, you didn't say
No,
reality. Okay.
no one's ever going to accuse me of putting
Okay.
things in reality.
All right. Okay. Whew. I'm so glad.
Yeah, don't worry about that. You never said that. I never said
No.
that.
All right, we're
No, God
covered there.
forbid
Okay.
I was the person who made anything real.
No, everything's normal in my world now all of a sudden.
Yay.
Although I would like to see what else is going on behind that curtain. So I found out today that your most PG story, your words, I believe, or close to it, is you going to jail.
Well, that was the
Right?
first thing that came to my mind that it was okay to share.
Frame it however you will. You know, I've learned some things. I would love to learn a little more about that world that's beyond that, and maybe think about that and think about some of those stories. I also learned how apparently on multiple occasions you've traumatized me. That's right, I can say multiple occasions because you've now admitted to at least two of them. One, that story I brought
Yeah,
up.
you know there's got to be something I'm not telling you, right?
Is there?
No,
there
really isn't.
There's not, because what wouldn't you, right? I mean, it's not like you were hiding that one behind that scene.
Honestly, I felt so bad after I did that one thing with the vacuum cleaner. I really do feel like I changed. I became a better human being after that because
I can almost, and I'm not sure if because you just told the story or whatever, but I can almost feel like I'm flashing back to that a little bit. I feel like you might have just peeled that back a little bit. So I'm hoping I can sleep tonight. I'm hoping that I'm like, it's not going to all of a sudden hit me like, oh my God. I'll be calling you at 2 a.m. with the shakes. Erin!
Debbie's like holding you like it's okay.
Don't vacuum, Debbie. Don't.
Yeah, oh my God. If Debbie starts vacuuming around the house, you'd be like, stop!
I'm already like that, frankly. I can't stand the sound of the vacuum. Stop vacuuming, for the love of God. You're feeling good though these days? You're looking great, Erin.
No, thank you.
No, you really are. You're looking fantastic.
You are too.
Yeah.
I like the red on you.
What's that?
I like the red on you.
Oh, okay, very good. It actually just bringing out a little color in this otherwise pale exterior.
Yeah, well, we're like super white.
Yeah, we are super white. It was funny. My brother Jim, having a conversation with these three guys from India. Originally, they're of descent of India, right? And Jim's listening intently, and one guy was talking about how he had gotten his first sunburn. Now, obviously, these gentlemen have skin that's much darker than ours, than Jim and mine. Jim and me, like we're pretty much sending out a glare off of our skin.
Right, you don't really think of people of Indian descent getting sunburn.
Well, no, but of course everyone does, though, right? No matter how dark your skin is, you can still get sunburn. Just, of course, nowhere near to the extent and degree
it's hard for me to even imagine. It's like they don't know what a real sunburn is.
No. But this gentleman, he got burnt pretty bad, apparently. And he was talking about it, and he was talking about his pains associated with it. And Jim, in such a Jim way, just stops everything. And he's like, wait a second. You have no idea what sunburn is until you've lived my life, or something to that effect.
Right.
And he just went off on these guys. I mean, Jim's got some really bad sunburns over the years, like really, really, really bad, like blistered and stuff. Like, I fell asleep on a beach, I think at least twice. You think once would be enough? I'm pretty sure he did it twice, but he's gotten towards it pretty bad. And these guys are like, all right, that's unfortunate. And Jim's still going off. And finally, the one guy goes, I finally do understand the plight of the white man. It was awesome. It was such a great line.
That's about the extent of it. We get sunburned. That's our biggest concern.
We're good other than that, though.
Our lives are so hard. I remember when Eileen got really badly sunburned, and Mom made her coat herself in buttermilk. It was nasty to be in the bed next to her. She was like covered in buttermilk, her whole body. Wow. Yeah.
She could have chosen maple syrup.
I know.
Could have made Eileen's experience much better. Or way worse. Depending on how many diabetics are around.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
Not a bit. That story was, just so you know, I projected that one out to Eileen.
Okay.
Again, sorry. That's right. She has a different last name.
That's right. We don't even have to, claim her anymore.
I've gone out of my way not to claim any of you guys.
Oh, well, too bad. You can't get away from me.
Yeah.
As much as you try.
All right. Well, that conversation didn't go anywhere fun. Are we done being fun? Is that it? We're done being fun now?
I think so.
I think so. We're done. We're done being fun. That's it. We're done. Which is the perfect outro, by the way. Thank you very much, Erin McParland. What a show. Yeah. Oh. That's a funny bit. Just do that. It's true. Laughing makes you laugh.
It's pretty crazy, huh?
And that was Erin McParland. Hey! I'm sure I'll find something better to stop the recording on, but if not, I got that.